Well, I haven't uploaded a video in a while, and I wanted to um, put a video up of the progress on my shop. It's the 30 by 50 shop build that I've been working on. Um, as many of you know, or if you have watched this video at all, you will know that I did the foundation about 2 years ago, laid it and then saved up lumber and built that over spring break. It's now December or November 29th, almost December, November 29th. Part of the reason I go so slow is I pay cash for everything. And I've had 3 kids in college and my wife working on our master's program. And so I've been a little tied up and funds have been tight. But the Lord has blessed us. We were able to pay for all of our education. My wife's master's, my oldest son's graduated, my middle son will graduate next weekend, and my daughter will be done in May, and all of her school's already taken care of, so very blessed. But I'm gonna flop the camera around and kind of walk you through maybe some of the things that you haven't seen, and I don't know, just talk about my shop a little bit. Maybe it'll inspire some of you to know on limited budget, you can do a lot of things if you'll just piddle with it here and there and catch a Saturday, catch a couple of dollars, find some things on sale, watch Facebook, Marketplace, Craigslist for materials that are in excess and grab a little bit here and there. And hey, next thing you know, you got a few things built. So let's swap the camera around and I'll kind of walk you through some of the things. Maybe I can swap it around. I don't think I'm smart enough to swap it around, so we'll just have to walk this way. So what I'm walking into is the corner storage room, and it is 10 by 16. It does have a toilet in it, and I've got 3 of the 4 walls covered with OSB. The reason I don't have this one yet is I'm gonna take and cut styrofoam and put it in between the studs all the way to the outside wall with the silver facing out. And then I'll go down the edges of each one of them with Expandafoam. And I have a cool gun for that. If you've been to Home Depot and seen these, you can get a gun that looks like this. And it's got a tip on it. And you spray foam. This is cleaner that I have in there now because I used all the foam, but it works really well. You can regulate the flow of the Expandafoam, and it does even very small areas. You can see I just did a small area here, and doesn't require a whole lot. It just kind of spills it out. I've got free lights. They're very bright, so I'm not going to show it to you, but yeah, there's my storage room, 10 by 16. I just screwed something to the wall to hang my coat on when I come into the shop. I don't even know what it was. It was a pulley off of something somebody else tore apart. Anyway, we're gonna finish that when I get some more foam. Something else I built here was a free sink that I tore out of a construction job I did back when I had my construction company. And I built this cabinet kind of as an experiment out of OSB. And you can see the end walls are OSB, and you can kind of see the cabinet doors are all OSB, just regular cabinet doors. One's tan and one's white because these are left over from jobs somebody had thrown out, and just did a regular 5-piece door there. Made it nice and smooth, sanded it down. I even built the drawers out of it. As you can see, side walls are in there nice and smooth. No splinters. That's what happens when you sand them down. And just nice, smooth. Had to order 30-inch steel for the top, but I just glued it down with contact cement, and I had a piece for the back that I put up as well. Everything's a work in progress. And what you're seeing is my cold water line coming in and my vent pipe going out for the toilet and the sink. And again, a free faucet. So nice. Made a little shelf here on the end to hold a few things, and then storage back here in the back. These are some shelves and stuff I took out of the house, and they're just here temporarily. This eventually will get all cleaned out, hopefully. And I have this old Powermatic jointer that my uncle sold me for very cheap, like 65 bucks. I'm gonna restore this. It's a project. And then up here against the wall, you see these big built panels. These are the backdrop for my daughter's wedding, who will be getting married the day after Christmas. So really exciting about that. Also over here, I have a wood burning stove that my uncle did give me, and I'm gonna hook it up hopefully before too much longer. We'll see what we can do to get warm. I have my shaper here. It is the Grizzly brand, 3.5 horsepower shaper. And then I've got my table saw, and I've got it all set up. This table saw I found off of, I believe it was Craigslist. And I gave $250 for it. It was a Ward's brand Powermatic table saw. And it has an aluminum and steel top, polished it all up, has a solid steel plate in it, and I actually put a 12-inch blade in it because it does take it. I had to do a 1-inch to 3/4 or 3/4 to 1-inch reducer on it, because what I used was a miter saw blade, 12-inch miter saw blade, and what I did was the arbor in this old saw, 1946 model, is a 3/4 inch arbor as opposed to a 5/8 inch arbor. So I had some extra bearings kind of like this, and I had one that fit right inside a 1 inch, and it fit over the 3/4 perfect. That's what it was designed for. And so basically it was just too thick. So I mounted it all in there and rigged me up a way to hold it, and I ground it down essentially till it fit and made a space around it. I could probably got a bottom, but I just made my own. Made a 12-inch blade on there. It works wonderfully. So I will be using that as such. I'll just buy 12-inch blades for it. Hopefully I won't tear them up because I know they're expensive. So I'll be very careful about running boards through it, but it does work wonderfully. And then I had rails already. I had these rails, and I did change out bought brand new tape off of Amazon and stuck new tape down. And it does go to 54 inches, somewhere around 53.5 inches. And it is a nice set of rails. Other than that, lights are mostly working, although some don't. And then I also do have to travel for work some. And so as I travel around and I have time, which usually is not very much, but if I have an afternoon off and I'm close to certain places, like No Limits, Texas, and I guess if you can comment below where you think that might be, you'll know where I was. But I recruit for a university, so I get to travel around and do that as well. And then you'll see as well in the background I have some pennants that I have got. My wife and I had the privilege to be able to travel a little bit this summer for our 25th anniversary. And we went all the way up to Niagara Falls, and then on the way stopped and watched Pittsburgh and St. Louis play each other in Pittsburgh. And that was pretty awesome. St. Louis came out on top with a grand slam in the 10th into the Allegheny River. And then I was also privileged to be able to go watch Philadelphia play Atlanta, and I believe Atlanta won that game. Picks up some pennants anyway along the way from Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. As well, I was in Houston traveling, and I stopped by the Astros team store, got me a pennant over there, and by the nature of my job as well, I was next to a UConn, University of Connecticut representative, and she kindly gave me a UConn pennant. If you can see it hanging up there, So pretty excited about that. I actually got to watch UConn girls right up there. UConn girls and SMU girls play each other, sat courtside. That was pretty cool. And I've picked up a few other miscellaneous signs around, hang in the shop. Some of them already had, but anyway, this is my shop. My wife calls it my happy place. And I love organizing and putting things up and cleaning and then building things. And if you can see, I've got a stack of wood right here. It's thin, 1/4 inch. I'm gonna build some temporary walls with it for my daughter's wedding. And then most of it will come back here, be disassembled, and I wanna cover these walls with it. It's only 1/4 inch, but all it is just to look nice in here. I really don't even care if the walls are covered, but since I had it and I needed it for the wedding, we will cover the walls in here. I'll put some insulation in here. Again, I will just do the same thing in here. I will do foam board with some expanded foam down the edges. I've heard it called cheap man's the cheap man's spray foam, and spray foam is quite expensive around here, like $2.25 a square foot to cover the walls. It blows my mind that it costs that much. But hopefully I can do the ceilings with it as well, and just do the foam up in there, and then do the edges with the spray foam. And what that will do for me is stop the airflow, and hopefully with the reflective portion going out, it will also stop some of the radiant heat from coming in. So future plans in the works will be over in this area, hopefully assembly table area, and a place to put drill press, a bandsaw, and my jointer. And in that corner over there, where all that mess is right now, we're going to clean it up and hopefully make a U-shaped set of cabinets in there, and that will kind of be my mechanics corner over there. I drive the cars up in here and change oil and that sort of thing, and I'll be able to have 3 work areas there where I can store my tools, keep them organized, where I can have access to them, and not have to hunt for them, and also be able to put tools up there and fix me a way to redo my oil, keep it so I can take it for recycling, and then also the residual oil that's in the bottom of a oil jug when you use it. I know there's more in there and we just throw them away, and I want to be able to eventually reclaim those, so I'll fix a way up I can set those up and just leave them drain until it eventually gets more. Oh, and this cool thing right here beside me, this is just stuck in here just to hold it, but this was an old guard light, I guess, and I thought it would be great for a station light for maybe over my miter saw. And so I took it all apart, and I've fixed a plastic light. It's bigger up in here. It goes all the way around. It's about that big, and ran some bolts up in there. Just made it, and then I ran new Romex wire to it, and I'll put it on a switch. And just a regular light bulb in it, and I'll have a nice workstation light, probably screwed to the wall somewhere over the miter saw. Anyway, this is my shop. This is my happy place. I enjoy it. Hopefully I'll be able to help people out to maybe build some things, or maybe you do some teaching where can educate others who don't know how to build cabinets, how to repair furniture, anything like that. Maybe I can help somebody out and be a blessing to someone else. So I hope you enjoyed this. I know there's a lot of talking, but it is my shop. It is 30 by 50 minus this room right here, which is 10 foot deep. So this section here is actually only 40. This section over here goes all the way the full 50, and then of course it's 30 foot wide from one side to the other. So nice shop. I waited a lot of years for it, and I built it on pier and beam foundation. So it's got I don't know what that was. That kind of scared me. Something fell. It's got the block foundation around, and then I did 2x6 floor joists sitting across a double strong back. Let's see, I did it about 10 foot, did a double strong back, another 10 foot double strong back, then I came across it with 20 foot. So I have two 20 foot two 20-foot floor joists going across, so they overlap 10 foot. So in the middle of this is a double 2x6 for the 10-foot setting on either strong back. And then I did 1/8 inch thick tongue and groove pinnacle subflooring. It's OSB style, but it's guaranteed not to chip, and it sweeps wonderfully. Any trouble with that, I can sweep sawdust up, no problem. Cleans up really nice. You can kind of see it there. 4x8 sheets, 1/8 inch thick. They are glued and screwed to the floor joist, so very strong, sturdy floor. I've pulled my wife's Lincoln MKX up in here. I've pulled my son's Prius, my son's Jeep. I've had them all up in here changing oils, changing water pumps, that sort of thing already, so already taking care of all that. And then I did have to purchase rafters. I try to build everything I can here. If I can figure it out, I'll do it myself, and I could have built rafters, but man, those presses that press those plates in like that right there, they take a lot of pressure to press those in, and there's one on each side. So I just ordered those. They were about $100 a piece. So anyway, hope you enjoy. God bless you and have a great day.